Thought I had something in my tape. All right, y'all. So when that video that I did on the home tab with the DF and the DM, right, where they've reconciled. They've reconciled in the 5D. They have not reconciled in the 3D. So I want to see more about that. Because they are having this 5D conversation, right? So it's like they're manifesting each other in the 3D, but it feels like, hold on. It feels like they're on a, there we go. I'm sorry, y'all, my OCD. This one, there we go. But it's like they're having an energetic conversation about coming into union and what's holding up union. So in this reading, I just kind of really want to focus on the 5D connection itself, right? Some of you guys have met this person. Some of you guys haven't met this person. This is going to be a future reading. But just take it as it resonates. I'm not going to do too much explaining. I'm just going to tap into the reading. Holy Spirit, Angel Guides, what do we have for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine in the 5D? This is for those who are on this timeline for coming into union this year. These two are the ones that are connecting in the 5D and reconciling. Holy Spirit, Angel Guides, what do we have on the 3D, the Chalice? On the 5D connection between the Divine Feminine and the Masculine. We have Shadow Self. And we have Chimera. Hi, Jaden. Hi, Rosie. Hold on 1 second. Dude. Thank you, Rosie. All right. I'm not sure what Chimera means, but let me look that up real quick. Or is it Chimera? I read this one before. In Greek, a fire-breathing female monster with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. A thing that is hoped or wished for, but in fact is illusory or impossible to achieve. Oh, wow. So this is what that looks like, right? And it said that a fire-breathing female monster with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. So this kind of have like the lion head. But let me see from the Greek standpoint what that means. Oh, she goat. So I don't know if it's relevant to like same sex as well. I think for some it is. It's like so many different meanings of it. So for some this could be a same-sex relationship, but regardless, it doesn't matter because I don't read for genders anyways. I read for the energy feminine, masculine. So just take that as it resonates. But with the shadow self, it's like, because it's also meaning like something can be an illusion, like you hope for it, but You could feel like it's not real, right? But I feel like that's the talk of the shadow self, denying it, like rejection, rejecting something that you desire with like the assumption that you can't have it because it's not real. It's all in your head. Like if one person feels like they want something more than the other, um or it could feel like why do I keep stuttering? I don't feel like this is my energy. It's just been so hard for me to talk. So I do feel like it's somebody who has trouble like experiencing communicating. Like they don't really know how to, they really don't know how to say how they feel. It comes out like this, like stammering, stuttering, confused. I don't think someone's used to vocalizing how they feel. And I think it's because they're not used to talking about how they feel, right? It's like, I feel like this person is somebody who tends to shut down. One of the energies is somebody who tends to shut down because they don't feel heard. They don't feel like anybody would care to listen to them. Their voice is not important. So because they've been mute for so long and they don't express how they feel, they don't know how to. Like, it's like they would have to practice expressing it, saying it, right? Thank you, Rosie. Oh, well, you get to replay it later. All right, so I'm going to cut the chat, you guys, because I already see it being distracting and I want to focus. And I don't have a moderator, so hello to everybody. You guys could leave comments in the comment section if you guys want to after the live, but just so I could get through the reading and not be distracted. Yeah, it feels like there's an energy. It's a feminine and a masculine, but one of them feels they have a harder time speaking their truth, speaking how they feel. But they do feel a lot, right? But I think they're the ones having trouble believing that this connection is real. Like they could be thinking they're making it up in their head because how is this possible? How can I be so connected to someone? How can I feel someone? How can I telepathically communicate with someone? Why am I receiving this message? You get me? Things like that. So they're getting the signs, they're getting the synchronicity, but they're scared to believe that it's true. But it's the shadow self. Tell me more. See, I told y'all. It's the 5D connection. What does it say? Fifth dimension. Now, I always see the shadow energy when it comes out like that as, you know what? Let me write that down because I'll be forgetting that I'm supposed to explain this stuff on the Psychic Philosopher, but hold on. In my breakdown, I see the shadow self as masculine energy, right? But the shadow self has many different aspects to it. It's our fears, it's our ego, it's our dark side, but I also feel like it's the masculine energy because the light energy is typically the feminine, right? Because the shadow self is related to ego, and I feel like in nature, most masculines are egotistical. And that ego is necessary, but you get me? It's like being conditioned by the world. It's all out of whack. So That's why I would say this is the masculine energy, because shadow, right? But we all carry that anyways, because we all have a light and shadow to us. So that's the feminine, masculine energy, whatever. So I would say this is a masculine who feels like they're awakening and they feel so connected to the divine feminine. They've already met this divine feminine in this storyline, but they're having a hard time believing that this is real, because I think this is somebody who tends to be very logical about things. They weren't spiritual before this journey began. They didn't really know anything deeply about spirituality. So to be waking up to it, it's like, it feels like they're in a dream. Like one day they were enjoying life and living under this illusion, and then now that illusion is stripped away and they're seeing things differently. It's like they're even awakening to their spiritual abilities, right? So it's like seeing through the illusion more and more. So if they had toxic friends and they didn't see the jealousy and envy in those people around them before, now they're starting to see it. And it's clear as day. There's no denying it. And it's like, even if they don't want to believe it, it's so much evidence around it. And it's like, how is this real? How is this? How am I even seeing this? Why didn't I see it before? It's so much questions. But they're in the fifth dimension, right? So they're now connected there. We have astral voyage. I feel like this masculine is a projector. Now, I tell you guys, I read energy. I'm not good at explaining all those other stuff. But I guess I have to look that up. But I know that there's different types of ways that people show up. I think there's the generator, and then there's like the projector. I don't know information like that about it, but I know that that's like a breakdown. I feel like this person is a projector. Let me see. Projector and spirituality, meaning. So I guess it's the design. It says a projector is a seer or guide, here to recognize and direct the energy of others rather than hustle. They possess a focused, absorbing aura, offering deep intuitive insight to maximize efficiency, usually after being invited to share their wisdom. The purpose is to guide, lead, and optimize systems or individuals rather than performing repetitive or doer work. So it's like this person has the ability to guide others, but it's very energetically. So they could be naturally good at doing Reiki, things like that, right? We have the seer. They possess an intense and on-point ability to see others clearer than themselves, identifying potential and pitfalls. So this is what they're waking up to. It's like they're learning their gifts. So they're seeing through people now because their gift is activated, right? But it's scary for them all at the same time, because they don't understand how or why. And then we have strategy. Wait for the invitation is crucial, ensuring their wisdom is received, recognized, and valued. But what it's weird about it is saying like the projector, it says it's a non-energy type. So to me, could also be someone who could just be like a natural psychologist, which makes sense to this person's energy. Now, I do think that this person can feel it. I feel like they're an intuitive. They they have the ability to see through people. So like even before they were awakened, I feel like they would use their logic to assess people. So I'm feeling like it's the King of Swords. He ain't came out, but I feel like it's the King of Swords. King of Swords energy typically operates out of the brain, right? It's like clinical thinking, how things operate. So that type of energy would typically study you. They will study you, learn your behavior, learn your patterns, and then they'll know how to operate around that. So I feel like naturally he's always had the ability, but it came from a more logical perspective. Now it's coming from an intuitive perspective with also the logic. So that's actually really good because he's going to learn how to balance that gift very quickly with the ability to feel it and know what actions to take with it, right? So he's powerful. He's always been powerful, but he's awakening to the spiritual aspect of his power now. But he is an astral projector. So this masculine can read energy. He probably could be a really good tarot reader as well because he would have the insight knowledge and then the intellectual knowledge and the intuitive insight as well to put it all together. Sounds like I'm describing the male version of myself, huh? But it's like this door has just been opened. So he's there now. You know what's crazy? Those of you guys that's been following me for a while, those of you guys that are new, you guys might not know that reading or remember it. But I'm gonna post it because I have some of the readings I did on TikTok a long time ago where we had this energy. We had this reading where it was the masculine, and this was foresight into the future from that timeline that we were in when we read that energy. But now we're expanding on energy. But in that reading we had where the masculine had awakened and he was learning all his powers and his gifts. And the feminine didn't know he was a hierophant, right? It's like she was confused about him. But she did recognize him when they met, but he hadn't become that hierophant yet. But it's like their higher selves had connect. So, but he was hiding the fact that he was a hierophant so he could actually see her. Just like she could see him as the high priestess, he could see her as the hierophant. So when he would study her, feel her, she can think she's hiding. She might even be able to hide from others, but she can't hide from him. He's connected to her, but he's also a seer. You get me? And we're just now confirming that. But it said that in that reading. So it's like they're both psychics, right? They both have the same power, the same ability. And in that reading, when he was going through the part of his journey where he's having a disconnect from his community, there's no one for him to talk to because no one's going to understand him. But he knew she was spiritual. He knew she was already awakened because she awakened him without her really knowing that that's what was happening at first. She awakened him. So he knows he could talk to her about it and he wants to talk to her about it, right? But they were in separation. So it's like he starts to just see everything differently, her differently, the world differently, everything. Now, that reading is this same reading, but just elaborated on this part of his journey of what that's looking like when he's going through this awakening with this gift and this power. He's now connected to her in the 5D. So this is where he's like, if you guys watched the reading that I post about the divine feminine and masculine connecting, they reunited in the 5D, right? So it's like in this, he's questioning, like, is this real? Am I really feeling her? Is she really talking to me? Am I really talking to her? But remember, he has the power to astral project. So what that looks like, it's like maybe he's testing it out and he's seeing her reaction, right? Like what we've been having lately in the energy is passionate energy. So he could be sending her a lot of sexual energy and then seeing if she's connecting to it. If he feels her connect to it, then, and it feels like they're doing it together, then he will feel like, okay, I am connecting to her. But then he's going to continuously project something to see if she's getting that message. You get what I'm saying? So it's like he's practicing his ability. He's practicing, but she's gonna get the message because he's a projector. Not everybody has that astral projecting type of energy to them, because when you get really good at it, this is somebody who can like how I'm sitting here right now, that person can come and spy on me like at will. Their energy can get over here. If they really meditate on it, they can see what I'm doing. They could even hear me talking in that moment. Like, people really be out here gifted and they be knowing how to use their ability, right? So it gets really deep. Like, people could do it on command. That's his type of power. So he's really good, or he's going to be really good at reading people's energy, but he's definitely, more so than anybody else, he's connected to his feminine. We have entanglement. That's him and the divine feminine. And then we have the inner labyrinth. So this is like a maze that he's experiencing right now, because he's trying to figure out what's happening. He's trying to figure out himself. Right? So that's what we got. Now we're going to get into it and see what's going on. Tell me more about this masculine and his awakening, Holy Spirit angel, guys, in the 5D. So we have 4 of Swords. I feel like he's meditating, right? And we have 4 of Cups. That's a lot of withdrawn energy. So he's tapped into his emotions. He's I would say he's the King of Cups right now. So he's in heart space. His heart chakra is open. And we got 4-4. His heart chakra is open. Yeah, he's definitely been focused on the feminine. So he watches her pictures. Y'all see those pictures out there? It's like cutouts. He watches her picture and he's meditating on her. And some things he's trying to control it. So it's like some things he's like, I feel like he's trying to control when she feels him, because I feel like he thinks about her a lot. But he's trying to intentionally, why is it so shaky? He's trying to intentionally focus on her when he's trying to send her energy to see how it works. And then there's other thoughts that's in the back of his mind that like he's not ready to be revealed to her. So he's like trying to control that as well. I don't know why he would be doing that though. But I think it's because he knows she's spiritual. He knows she's intuitive and she could read his thoughts. So I feel like he's trying to have some control over what she can see in his mind. But he is energetically reaching out to her. He's going to reach out to her energetically before he reach out to her physically. And he's going to talk to her. All right, so what message is he sending the feminine? What is he trying to tell the feminine? 3 of Pentacles. That's about them working together as a team rather than working against one another, right? Because if she's mad and she's holding on to what happened in the past, then they won't be able to move forward. So it's like he's wanting her to know that he wants to work together. He wants to know if she wants to work together. We have the 8 of Swords. What else? We have the Eight of Swords, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Queen of Cups sideways, right? And then we have the King of Wands. This is very interesting. Okay. So, you know, the Queen of Cups is also very intuitive. Like, and remember, we have him tapping into the heart space. His heart chakra is activated. So, and then we have the Hierophant. And it was sideways. So this is shared energy. So he is tapping into her. But again, he's doubting if it's really true. He's like, is she really getting the message? Is this really her? Because I feel her, but am I making it up in my mind, or is this wishful thinking? You get what I'm saying? Like, he's like, ain't no way. Like, that's crazy. But the more they connect, he taps into the King of Wands. His confidence begins to grow. Like, okay, I think that I am talking to her. She is talking to me. She's opening up to me. So then it becomes like, it becomes cool. It becomes like, that's crazy. Like, I'm talking to my divine feminine. Nobody knows we're talking. Nobody knows. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, we know. And I'm thinking about walkie-talkies. Y'all know, like, when you have a walkie-talkie. I know when I was a kid and we had walkie-talkies, it was so fun. It was so cool. But, like, you could be in a whole nother place, far from somebody else, but you can still, like, talk to them, right, on the walkie-talkie. I mean, for ours, it didn't stretch out that far. For ours, it was, like, the living room or the other room. But it's still like you're far away from each other, but you can talk to each other and it's clear messages. That's how he feels with her. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm so connected. I've never had a connection like this. I know that that's my divine feminine because I'm so connected to her that I can hear her. I could hear her loud and clear. And she can hear me loud and clear. Like, so that gives him, it gives him a sort of strength. It gives him power. It gives him clarity as well, that like he's not tripping, he's not crazy. And once he's done working through whatever he's dealing with, she's gonna be there waiting for him on the other side because they're connected. Like, you get me? So he's becoming more and more confident about the new beginning. I told you it was that King of Wands. I mean, King of Swords. He's more and more confident about them being able to have a new beginning. But it's after he goes through this rebirth. All right, so what else? There's also something about this being a secret, right? It's like we have the Magician and we have Page of Swords. I think this came out earlier and it's sideways. He's definitely watching her, and that's how he's able to really manifest this, because he's never left her energy. He's always watched her, but now he's realizing he can send energy. So he's even more focused on it. Like I said, he's trying to see if she's getting the message. But he's letting her know that he chooses her as his Queen of Pentacles. This is who he wants to build his family with, right? So whatever he's doing in the 3D, he's preparing for them. He's working hard so that he can take care of her, he can take care of the family, and he's going to be by her side. He's loyal. There's nobody else that he wants. He wants her. But there's some things that he's still learning, right, in the 3D. So all of this is what he's communicating with her. It was something else I wanted to say. Oh, about this being a secret. He's not trying to hide her from the world or anything like that. He wants to protect the connection. So that's why it needs to be kept silent, a secret, because there's people who would not be happy about this connection coming together, especially people who want this masculine. Like, I think he has somebody who's crazy over him. And you know, people, their jealousy can make them real crazy. Like, do the most. So it's not that he's trying to keep her hidden, but he's just, that's one of the things that he's trying to work on, is moving away from a soulmate connection that he was in, because the person that he was dealing with, right? Maybe when him and the feminine had problems in the past, the divine feminine, that feminine is very possessive. She feels entitled. So it's something about her energy where it's like she's illogical. And there's some people who feel like if they can't have you, they want to hurt you, right? It's like they go from loving you to hating you. And that's the type of feminine that he's dealing with. She's very jealous. This is not something she would easily let go of. And I also feel like this masculine feels bad. He feels guilty about the fact that, like, when he met the divine feminine, he didn't just connect to her. He didn't just give her his all when his heart was already moving in that direction. Like, he feels guilty that he was even entertaining somebody else. So he feels more so like he betrayed the divine feminine, which was his Two of Cups. He's been very stressed out and burdened by that. It's like the more and more that he realized how toxic he was, that's what makes him feel bad. Because he's an emperor and he belongs with an empress. It literally came out that way, right? They always belong with each other, but he didn't show up that way for her. So I feel like for him, he feels like it's his duty to fight for this connection. So regardless, he's saying that regardless, he's gonna come back. He's working on whatever he needs to work on in the physical, but he's letting her know, like, he's sorry for what he did in the past. It's taking some time still for him to come forward, but he's gonna come forward and he's gonna make it up to her, because he's gonna give her everything, right? And I do feel like whatever he's doing, he does need to do it however he needs to do it, because of the type of people that are involved, and he's protecting the feminine. So he's not just chilling and taking his sweet time and just like having fun or being scared. It's past that point now, right? But I feel like he's gonna continue to project to her what it is. Like, he's gonna keep talking to her. He's gonna keep showing up in her energy. She's gonna get the download. She's gonna get the messages. Maybe even through the dreams. Pay attention to the dreams. Some of you guys, this already happened, right? Like, because everybody's timeline is different. But some of you guys could have probably already had these dreams and these messages. Maybe even long before this masculine knew he was projecting them. You guys already gathered information from the dream state on what was going on, because it was also aligning to reality. The things that you thought and they were hidden, you got those messages through the dreams, and they were very clear, right? So it wasn't something that you was just making up. You were seeing what they had going on, but it was because they were telling you. Their soul was always telling you. So we're going to leave that one there. But that's what I have for you guys. Blue Butterfly Gang Gang on the Divine Feminine Masculine energy. We're going to leave that one here. Typically, we do the message for Divine Feminine and Masculine. We'll probably do another one on Wednesday, but separate like I typically do it. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to do the zodiacs, and then I'll release them as I'm doing them, right? So you guys look out for that. And if this reading resonates with you guys, or you guys like this reading, give me a big fat thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.